Boom. Welcome to News Strip Down, where I dig through the news and weed out all the nonsense. So you guys don't have to. 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that's probably just BS, anyways. Oh, let's get back to the regular game. I know I've been gone for a while, guys. Starting to feel better now. Started doing a little bit of writing today. So, yeah, let's get into it today. Today is July 13th, Monday, 2026, you guys. It is 43 degrees Celsius. That's 109.4 degrees Fahrenheit to you guys down in the States. And yes, that's not the actual temperature, that's what it feels like. And that's what I'm going to do as the temperature because it feels like that. It's pretty hot. So I hope you guys have like a nice cool spot to go and hang out. Expecting some thunderstorms later this afternoon. We'll see what happens. Start off with some birthdays today. Today in 100 BC, Julius Caesar's birthday is born. He passed in 44 BC at the age of 55. And today in 1918, Alberto Arcieri, he was a famous race car driver. He passed in 1955 at the age of 36 in a quite the wreck. Yeah, driving his Ferrari. Apparently, it tumbled end over end, and yeah, he did not survive. Yeah, before safety regulations came into act, eh? And then today in 1940, Patrick Stewart is 86 years old today. Patrick Stewart, Star Trek Next Generation, bald guy. Uh, Comic Con. People probably know him more for Comic Con and then his other little skits that they're not skits, little parts that he gets in other movies too. And today in 1942, Harrison Ford is 84. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones. Yeah, there you go. And then today in 1969, Ken Jeong, he is 57 years old today. He's a comedian, and I did not know this. He's actually a licensed doctor as well as being a comedian. Comedian, actor. I don't know. He's done quite a bit of stuff. So yeah, let's get into the news. So yeah, today is July 13th, 2026. It's Monday, hump day, or the beginning of the week for anybody who it really matters to. Anyone working a 9 to 5. It is 43 degrees Celsius. That's 109.4 degrees Fahrenheit to you guys down in the States. Yeah, it's a scorcher. Yeah, I'm here Monday to Friday, 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central Time. 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer is just BS. New strip down. So yeah. So lately, I'm just gonna start calling the liberal leader, or sorry, the PC Liber. Wow, I cannot speak. I'm just gonna start calling the PC leader, Mr. PP there, Pierre Polyev. I'm just gonna start calling him PP now because he just seems to be throwing himself under the bus for absolutely no reason here. Like, his party putting out a statement just recently saying that this submarine deal between the Netherlands and Germany and Canada here is just a big farce and it's a bunch of lies. And I don't know why he's trying to throw himself under the bus like this. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, does he not realize that his constituents can just go look this stuff up online? And it's right there. And then with what else is happening today, a German company, ISAR, is coming to Nova Scotia. So everyone that was worried about that $150 million lease that the federal government was purchasing from what was it, Maritime Services. So everyone was like, okay, this land was getting, what was it, rented for about 5,000. It was no, it was only like $1,800 a month. It was getting leased originally for. And then everyone is kind of starting to worry about like, okay, the federal government just blew $150 million on this launch site that is literally just a concrete pad. Well, obviously, Carney and the Ottawa government had something up their sleeve, because now that we have this agreement for this sub deal, now we have German company ISAR that's going to be taking over this launch pad. So it's going to create a lot of, well, it's going to create a few jobs. So they're going to be taking care of that $150 million. So if you guys are sitting there worrying about Carney and his like egregious spending that he's doing right now with some of the world leaders around the world, uh, don't be too worried. Don't be too worried. Yes, he may have had to purchase that through the federal government first, like get a lease program to ensure that this company would still be able to have access to it. So, good part on seeing, just patience is a virtue here, you guys. Patience is a virtue. So yeah, and then the construction of this is going to start this year on that launch facility. They're going to start doing launches by 2028, and then by 2029 they're planning on doing around 40 launches per year. So yeah, like I said, that $150 million that everyone's worried about, don't worry about it. Like everyone's just getting their panties in a knot here for absolutely no reason. Like you guys got to just sit down, chill out. Things are starting to happen here, and we can't run before we walk here. Yes, there's being deals made behind our backs, and it looks like this spending is getting just out of control. But no, there is reasons for all this too. Plus, Germany taking a lot of our natural gas, an agreement with that. Yes, that is just a memorandum of an agreement, but there's a lot of deals that Canada is making and Ottawa is making that people don't seem to agree with right now, but I don't think they see the whole picture is what it's coming down to. And then when it comes to what's happening with maritime launch services, there's really no job numbers yet that will be like, really that they have lined up for, the small town of Canso, Nova Scotia. They only have a population around 700 to 800 people. And then in 2012, they actually had to shut down their high school because of a lack of population. So now they have their high school students go to the community of Hazel Hills, Nova Scotia, to go and take their high schooling. So this could bring some jobs. They are talking about, not just the construction half of this, that there will be permanent jobs there for people of Canso, Nova Scotia. So yeah, I know some people in Canso, they're really worried and kind of confused about what's happening, but just be patient, you guys here. This is good for Castle, Nova Scotia, and this is good for maritime services. To see Germany, Canada, we're starting to collab here now. So, and then the rebuttal there to, Mr. PP, Pierre Polyev there, yeah, that submarine deal, yeah, that was really fake. Yeah, just all this stuff is just happening for absolutely no reason, right? Yeah. Okay. And then, since I'm speaking of Ottawa here, and then beyond Ottawa building their 10 new reactors, there's also planning on releasing Canada's full potential when it comes to uranium exports and nuclear technologies. Okay, look, Canada is like way, well, not way ahead of its curve here when it comes to nuclear technology, but we do have really good nuclear technology, like our CANDU reactors. We're already supplying CANDU reactors for like civilian powering use in South Korea, China, Romania, Argentina, and even India. So yes, let's start getting more of these CANDU reactors. Let's start sharing some more of this information. Let's start sharing this technology. Everyone wants to keep talking about going green. There's this weird stage in history here, where everyone's like, nuclear's bad, and we need to get green, we need to get green. Okay, well, it's a double-edged sword, so I guess we're going nuclear this way now. So yeah, shout out to Canada and Ottawa. Let's start making some relationships with other countries here. Let's get these other CANDU reactors and some of our uranium products out to market. We do have a good abundance of uranium here. But what I would like to see Canada do is start producing more like radioactive isotopes for like, healthcare industry, cancer research. I know like Canada used to be one of the leading producers when it came to radioactive isotopes. Now we have to import them, which, you know what that does, jacks the price up on everything. And then that puts a swell on other countries now, because now there's a lack of supply. So now we have to rely on other countries for our radioactive isotopes. So that's one thing I would really like to see Canada. I'm trying to keep an eye out on stuff like this. So if any of you guys see anything about like any companies or any innovation in radioactive isotopes being produced here in Canada, please let me know. And then over to Manitoba. Actually, here, let's just get this out of the way. Japan just tested one of their new reusable rockets. Kind of looks like one of the SpaceX kind of style rockets. It's just a test flight. They launched it up, kind of jostled it around, and moved it over to another pad just to see its stability and stuff like that. But seems like they got something going here when it comes to reusable rockets. And with the stage that they're at right now, could be seeing them doing like full scale space to landings within maybe the next year, maybe even sooner than that. So I don't know, Elon Musk, be careful, man. There's other companies out there coming after you, man. You're not going to be the only dog in town. Uh, tu- tu- tu. And then over to Manitoba, Canada here. Let's get down into Brandon and kind of the Inner Lakes area or the White Shell area. Yeah, it's quite significant flooding going out through, and it's really quite kind of weird in this stage of the year. Normally, spring showers bring Mayflowers. The saying goes. But it seems to be that we just have this influx of these slow moving, heavy downpouring storms with like severe winds, quite a few tornadoes. I believe there's been around eight in total in this area, and I'm including Saskatchewan as well. So pretty significant when it comes to these storms, but it's just so unusual to have these so late in the season. Brandon seems to have crested as of today, unless we do have more significant downpour. There's still a lot of water that still has to come from down north, and that's going to come through Little Saskatchewan. And Little Saskatchewan, I don't believe has peaked yet. They have pulled some tiers out of the dam in Minnedosa, Manitoba, so that was pre-relief before the waters even started to rise here. They started pulling tiers out just to get some of that extra, so it wouldn't affect the other dams and dikes farther downriver, because there's one in Rivers that was washed out in 2021, which is just fixed recently actually. And then you have another major dam in Rivers, Manitoba, which used to be a military base. The dam there was actually built by the military, Canadian military. It's kind of funny. That's where the zucchini bicycles used to be made. Yeah, used to be made by Japanese POWs during World War II. Interesting little fun fact. And then, yeah, just Canada news in general. Sorry, I don't have a lot of international news right now besides, I don't know, that Germany, Norwegian thing. I'm not going to talk about what's happening with Iran or anything, because it's a waste of time. Um, so yeah, just some Canada news here. So there was an $8 million settlement over major meat companies who were accused of price fixing meat products. This isn't the first time companies have been accused of price fixing. And what normally happens, they settle out of court. Why do they settle out of court? Because then they don't have to prolong, the suffering, or prolong, the lawyers' bills and stuff like this. And to settle out of court right now for $8 million over the last couple of years, if they've been price fixing, they probably made $800 million off of us just doing this price fixing. So, does the punishment fit the crime? F no, it does not. We need to see bigger punishments when it comes to companies that are price fixing uh, any type of industry, we need to see bigger fines. Well, not fines. We need to see bigger settlements. If they're going to settle out of court, they need to be bigger than this, because that $8 million settlement, that's peanuts. That's absolute peanuts. And we need to start seeing like bigger, bigger dollar amounts coming out of here. Like Monsanto's, what was it? It was like $1 billion, one point, no, I don't even think it was that. It was like 113 or $114 million settlement. But since they settled, now you can't take them to court again. So, each state now is going after them individually. But, this price fixing thing. And then even with this $8 million settlement with this beef fixing, are we going to see anything from this? Where are we going to see where are we going to get the payback? We were getting ripped off for all these years. Where are we going to see? You think the beef companies be like, hey, everyone, here's a thing of hamburger for free? No, they're not going to do that. You think they're going to lower their prices? No. You think they lowered their prices after COVID? No. You know, you think they're going to lower the price of gas, once the Strait of Hormuz opens? No. So yeah, let's get into some things that happened today in history. Today in 1832, source of the Mississippi River was found by his name was Henry Schoolcraft. Interesting name. And then today in 1923, the Hollywood sign is dedicated. Yeah, put up and dedicated. Today in 1956, RCA Records releases Elvis Presley's single Hound Dog. Interesting. And today in 1985, Live Aid. Oh my goodness, 1985's Live Aid made $70 million for Africa Relief Fund. You want to see how many of those people actually got that $70 million? Yeah, they went to probably some charity organization, non-profit charity organization, which each CEO of that charity organization makes like 180 grand a year, non-profit. Yeah, BS. I wish I worked for a non-profit organization. But how does that make any sense? And then for anyone who donates to UNICEF or any of these other things, like donate locally, and then you know where your charity goes to. Do not donate to other countries or anything else, because you do not know where your money is going. And trust me, with some of the stuff UNICEF has got caught doing, yeah, they don't feed people, they starve people, and they fund terrorists. Look into UNICEF, it's interesting. And it's sad that they get kids to go wear those little boxes around at Halloween. Like, if these kids only knew what they were doing. Yeah, some of the parents should realize what they're doing. And then today in 1930, yeah, the world's first football World Cup was held. So yeah, it's kind of funny. We got FIFA going on, and then today is the world's first cup in 1930. July 13th, 1930. Just 13th. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the news today, you guys. I'm here Monday to Friday, 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central Time. News stripped down 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that's probably just BS anyways. So yeah, no drama on this channel. No school shootings, no Strait of Hormuz, and just real news that, can affect the world and local communities. But anyways, hopefully I do a little bit longer tomorrow. I'm just getting back into the habit of writing, you guys. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys come back, sorry, that was 2 weeks of absolute. I lost a complete week from pretty much, what was it, the 26th. I lost a week. I can't even remember. So yeah, I don't know if that was COVID 2.0. I don't think too many people are gonna. And this is another thing. Sorry, I just want to bring this up. This is just a funny thing. So there's been around, what, 1,400 people who have died just in recent days because of heat in the United States. Okay, and then let's talk about Europe. What is it? I think they're around 3,600 people or up 4,600 people have passed because of heat. Okay, now let's talk about COVID. Okay, a cold. Let's just call it a cold, a really bad cold. That killed less people in in more time. And like, really, what's going on here, you guys? Like, why isn't this held as a pandemic now? You know, this heat crisis. You know, like it's so funny. And then for people to be dumb in the heat. You know, like yeah, it's different when like yeah, I know there's that heat when you're in a hot apartment, you don't have AC, blah blah blah. But like, don't be sitting there and tempting fate, just going out for a walk, especially when you're getting elderly. Just stay inside. Oh my goodness. But COVID, heat, I think the heat's killed more people quickly than COVID ever did. So let's rethink how COVID was and everyone. Can you get a shot for heat exhaustion? Can you get a shot for that? I'm surprised the U.S. government or Pfizer hasn't come up with something like that now. But I will be back tomorrow for Tuesday's show. News stripped down, 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer is just BS. And I'll try and get some more international news stuff going. There's just a lot of stuff it's kind of stuck in my head from like the last week. I'm trying to play catch up, but one thing about news, I'm going to tell you guys, you can't play catch up on news because, you know, once it's been said, it's kind of old news. So, but if you guys want me to do a catch up of what's happened in the last 2 weeks that I've missed, I'd love to do that. But you got to leave me a comment and stuff, you guys. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do a recap of just because I know we missed the NATO thing. There was that. Uh, there was a bunch of stuff, bunch of meetings between governments that we all missed. There was the U.S. Congressional hearings on the MLK Ultra experimentation hearings that had just been done while I was sick. Yeah, there's a few things if you guys want me to talk about that stuff. Oh, and another little weird thing. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, I'll talk about that another time. But anyways, you guys have a. I don't see you guys for the rest of this week. You guys have a great week and try and stay out of the heat and stay hydrated. Okay, I'm out of here. Peace out, you guys.